Is this what you do before your videos?
Yeah.
You have it right in front of you?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It puts the ring in your eyes.
Yeah. But one of the main things is just to realize that He is enough, regardless of things going on in ministry and in life itself. That whatever was to take place tomorrow is not more than what He is right now.
So a few days ago, I put up on Instagram how I was literally just worshiping one song, and an extra track was put on the program with a sustained sound that I did not play. I was just talking with David Harris about this sound, and he had an experience of something that was very similar. Tell him what you said.
In 2012, I was in a corporate meeting. There was about 2,000 people, and we got to a place in worship where we were hitting some realms, and everyone just became lost in His presence, and it was like waves were crashing over and over again into the building. And the next day, the cameraman comes up to testify of what he had seen and heard, because he was recording everything, and all the audio and all the instruments were channeled through, so they were picking up all the frequencies and sounds of every individual instrument. But there was a sound that was coming through the audio channels, which wasn't coming through any instrument or any vocal, anyone singing or anything like that. And when we listened back to the recording, because they recorded it, it sounded exactly like what Eric's been playing to me.
So this is it. If you want to hear it, it sounds like. So last time David was here, there was a sound that I had been hearing for months before he came, and I hadn't told anybody about it. And when he was staying here, I'll let you tell him.
Yeah, so this was back in 2016. I was just spending time with Eric, waiting on the Lord, and I began to hear a sustained sound. And at the end of the time, we prayed and everything. I looked at him and I said, "Did you hear that?" And he was like, "Hear what?" And I thought a radio was playing in another room, because I'd never experienced anything like this. But it was sustained. It was just one sound. And then he described to me that he was hearing this sound regularly. He was being woken up and he was hearing this same sound. And then when he started explaining it to me, I realized that this wasn't just any sound. This was an angelic sound that had come into the room, and it is heavenly, it's divine. And man, heaven is so real. It's inside of us, and as we look to Jesus, we awaken the reality of this new covenant that He has given to us, that we can walk with Him.
I don't understand this, because it makes no sense. A created track with a different sound, sustained all the way through. I did not play. It's just crazy to me. So anyways, I'm going to upload this to YouTube for you to bring into your closet and get frozen in sweetness and enjoy, oh man, the sweetness of God's presence in your life. So we're heading to Jesus School right now, David and I. Well, I will be speaking tonight on the language of love. Waiting on God.
Yeah, just in case.
Jacob loved Rachel, and he waited for her. I can just see Rachel saying, after 7 years, "Thank you for waiting for me." And I can see Jacob looking at her saying, "My love is so great that time itself could not dampen it." Jacob is deceived and given Leah instead of Rachel. But Jacob is not happy just to get married or have something like Rachel in her sister Leah. He chooses to wait for exactly her. And I think this is the beauty of the language of love. Lord, I want you, not something like you, and I will wait for you.
look to you, God. We just want to stare at your face. We just want everything else to go away, God. We want to behold you, the beautiful Lamb.
We just finished here at Jesus Nights, and there was such a rich presence of the Lord. He's stripping things away so that he's the only thing left. Not only is that the safest place to be, it's the greatest place to be. I encourage you, lean in and be kissed. Kissed in such a way that the memory of the kiss will pull you back into it. In Jesus' name, I pray for you that the sweetness of his glory will come to you even now, that you'd sense him. He'd make himself audible, tangible, sensible, that you'd be wrapped, R-A-P-T, in adoration, frozen in sweetness, to enjoy the bliss of his person. In Jesus' name, receive it, let every wall down. In Jesus' name.